that understands what needs to be understood when you work in a corner of all the things that to look out for that can happen and what your responsibilities should be. And you know, he's a good human being. He's a very quiet guy, sometimes too quiet, to be honest. You could hardly hear him, but that's his personality. Nowadays, as I get older, I kind of like that personality more and more. Quiet people. I'm in love with that, actually. You know, just a quiet, decent guy. And it bothered me when he said he was disloyal to him, because to me, again, he was the one guy that was loyal, looking out for him, saved him from maybe getting hurt.
Teddy.
Those are the words of Teddy Atlas as he explains his relationship with Mark Breland. He explains how talented Mark Breland was, how qualified Mark Breland was, and what he felt about Mark Breland. Okay. Now, we've already counterpunched a lot of this concerning Teddy Atlas. I think I did it yesterday or the day before. But this is coming from Mark Breland himself. This is what he posted on his Instagram. Okay, this is the official Mark Breland. And he posted this video of Teddy Atlas. Okay, and what Teddy Atlas had to say about Mark Breland and how he felt about Deontay Wilder, first of all, firing him. Second of all, blaming him for spiking the water. And third of all, just calling him a snake in the grass. Now, this is from Mark Breland. And what he said like only he can. So this means Mark Breland is agreeing with Teddy Atlas. And I have to say something. Watching Teddy Atlas, a person that's a historian, okay, a participant, a lover of the sport, a passionate lover of the sport. You can't, if anybody looks at Teddy Atlas and say, you know what, Teddy Atlas, you're full of shit, you need to look in the mirror. Because I can't disagree with anything that Teddy Atlas said, even with, hey, yeah, maybe he should have just let him get knocked out. But then again, if he would have just got knocked out, you know what would have been the narrative then? Oh, my water was spiked and Mark Breland knew my water was spiked. That's why he let me get beat. That's why I fired him. He would have still fired Mark Breland. You know why? Because a lot of fighters, and like Deontay Wilder, will do this type of shit. He's not the only one, though. I have to keep saying that. He's not the only one that's done that went down that road, that decided, hey, I lost, so I need to blame somebody else. But this shit's with a twist. This shit's to the 10th power. This shit's different. Because you're telling a guy like over some way far-fetched bullshit about him doing you like that after 12 years of helping you. You think that a person like Mark Breland, as much as Deontay Wilder praised Mark Breland for knowing what he's supposed to know and knowing more than everybody else, why didn't you listen to that guy? You claim to be pro-black and all that bullshit, but at the end of the day, you got rid of the one black guy that had your back. When the other guy, let's say that, the other guy told him, nah, keep going, he'll do good. He don't throw in the towel. So who do you think's more loyal? A person that listens to what you say when you're sober-minded and ain't got hit upside the head? Or somebody that's going to listen, that won't listen to you when they know you don't have a cognitive mindset? Which one are you going to listen to? Because it seems like you got your shit all twisted up. See, Mark Breland is a quiet guy. You lucky he ain't like a fucking Ronnie Shields or somebody like that. Or a Teddy Atlas. Or even an Andre Rozier. Because they would have already said what they felt about you. And they probably would have took you to court saying some dumb, outlandish bullshit like you're doing. You're lucky he ain't doing that. That's a whole nother video, though. Okay? With Mark Breland. But what he is doing, and he's doing it nonchalant. He's doing it subliminally. Like, hey, I agree with Teddy Atlas because that's exactly what happened. I didn't mean Deontay Wilder no harm. Now, listen, let me tell you guys something. I was on a podcast with The Knowledge and Pro B's, shout out to those guys in the UK. And we were talking about something that I didn't know. See, I didn't even know that Mark Breland, because I heard Mark Breland was outside the dressing room crying because Deontay Wilder decided to not include him in the dressing room because he was so upset with the reason that he decided to do. He called the shot. He did something that JD's and Deontay Wilder himself told him not to do, but at the end of the day, he knew more than the motherfuckers knew. He's been in that situation where Deontay Wilder hasn't. He's been in that situation where JD's has not been. Okay, so what qualifies JD's to tell Mark Breland, hey, no, keep it going? Just because Deontay Wilder says so, a motherfucker that don't even practice the shit that he's supposed to practice? Think about it. That's in love, so much in love with his power that he can't even learn shit to deliver the power that he has? Is that what we're dealing with? That's why you mad at Mark Breland? That's why you're trying to throw him under the bus because he knew more than anybody else. Well, obviously, if he knew more than anybody else, he knew you should confide in him and understand my team is trustworthy. Not my team minus Mark Breland. Mark Breland knew more than all you motherfuckers did. Okay? So why are you sitting here doing that to him? And again, he could have took this a whole different route. He could have been on. He could have been interviewing people. And at the end of the day, I think Deontay Wilder likes getting off on people that don't speak. I think he likes that. I think the more you don't say shit, the more he's going to push it. Okay? If he knows that if he goes an inch and find out you don't say shit, he's going to take a mile. Because that's exactly what he's doing in this situation. But Mark Breland, at least, is saying, hey, you know what? This is what it is. This is what I believe. I couldn't have said it any better. There's no need for me to say anything else besides what Teddy Atlas said. So at least he can give people an understanding on how he feels about what Deontay Wilder did to him. And Teddy Atlas just didn't run Deontay Wilder under the bus, but he did call the shots. But this is Teddy Atlas at the end of the day. Okay, so he's not going to be that dude that really pulls punches and all that shit. He will put everything on the table and let everything ride and see where we're at. But at the end of the day, I hate the fact that they did that to Mark, because what if Mark decides to train somebody else? Then he has this fucked up, stupid rumor, which, you know what, I don't think people will honestly believe. But let's say they do. Let's say that people buy that shit. That hurts his credibility. That hurts his career as a trainer. Okay? He is a fighter, one of the best fighters, one of the best amateurs ever. And you got a fighter that took a loss and can't take that shit, don't know how to really take that shit. Honestly, he don't know. Wilder don't know. Wilder don't know until the motherfucker said, hey, this is what happened to you, Wilder. And he's just riding with it. Because he's not fucking real enough to say, yo, I lost. But that's why you shouldn't talk about how much or how less a guy can punch. Because that same guy can knock you the fuck out. But in the grand scheme of things, Mark Breland has, in his own way, responded. That's what's important right now. Because, you know, you keep hearing shit about you. Because I know Mark Breland has heard different posts, The Boxing Voice, all these other channels. Don't need to name them. They know who they are. That blast Mark Breland, that claim to be pro-black themselves, but can't see that, wait, you had a guy that you had the full opportunity to throw this guy under the bus because he's not the same skin color as you, that he was in charge of doing something that Mark Breland wasn't in charge of, watching him wrap his gloves and put on the fucking, wrap his wraps and put on the gloves. But nobody will not touch that for anything. That's why I know the motherfuckers are 100% fake. Anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Mark Breland responding to Teddy Atlas's video. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.